Today we're going to compare the Nuna Swiv and the Bugaboo Dragonfly, two lighter weight and relatively compact strollers oriented mainly towards urban or car-based lifestyles. So let's jump straight into it then, looking at the advantages and disadvantages of each model in turn, and focusing on their differences in terms of child comfort, ease of use, longevity, and driving characteristics, before ending by discussing which may make for a better purchase. And beginning with the Swiv, the model clocks in at around 10 kilos and folds down to 30 by 54 by 78 centimeters with the seat attached parent facing. It can carry 22 kilos in the seat and 10 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. When it comes to child comfort, the Swiv seat is adjustable between a nicely upright setting and a newborn acceptable near flat recline, in Europe and most of the world at least. Size-wise, the seat measures 28 centimeters in width and has a length for the sitting surface, meaning the combined lengths of the backboard, baseboard, and leg rest of 88, as well as an extra 14 centimeters of length when folding down the leg rest and instead using the front frame mounted footrest. As far as other aspects of the seat are concerned, the textiles have a quality feel and decent padding, as well as a seat insert that can be removed to reveal a large mesh panel for better ventilation in warmer climates. The harness is easy to use, with no rethread shoulder straps and a magnetic buckle, while the canopy is extendable and gives decent sun coverage in the upright and semi-reclined positions, but is a bit short in my opinion when the seat is fully reclined. For the newborn period, in addition to just using the seat reclined, the Swiv can attach the little and carry bassinets and is compatible with a variety of car seat brands if using post adapters, or at least Nuna's own seats with the ring adapter. Moving on to parent comfort, the Swiv's handle is adjustable between 93 and 107 centimeters in height, while the shopping basket is wide and easy to access. Folding is a simple process, can be accomplished with one hand, and the model folds down to a single self-standing package with the seat in either facing, though I would note that the standing position is a bit less stable and the folded package larger when the model is folded down with the seat world-facing. When folded, the Swiv is relatively lightweight and is comfortable to carry via the same strap used to activate the fold. As far as how the Swiv feels to use, it's sufficiently substantial feeling right out of the box, but there are several hinges and connection points that bend and strain when steering or tipping, leading me to suspect that the chassis may get quite loose and rickety down the road. In addition, though the folding system is relatively simple, I'd note that the mechanics related to the rear wheel swivel function are not, necessitating long trains of internal mechanisms within the chassis, as well as forcing the model to have a more complicated than average brake system, and over time, loosening and wear could lead to malfunctions with either of these systems. Driving-wise, despite relatively good-sized wheels, 6.5 inches in the front and 8 in the back, as well as four-wheel suspension, the fact that the rear wheels sit independently in swiveling forks rather than being directly attached to either side of a single crossbar makes shock absorption feel minimal, with the model getting quite jerky and jittery over rougher ground. In smoother conditions, there's of course also that swivel function for going sideways, but personally, I find the real-world benefits of this function negligible and not worth the mechanical complexity it brings to the chassis. Moving on, the Dragonfly also weighs right around 10 kilos, but folds down to a larger 36 by 52 by 90 centimeters with the seat attached. It can take the same 22 kilos in the seat and 10 in the underslung shopping basket. Looking at child comfort, the Dragonfly's seat has a similarly upright position and also has a newborn acceptable recline, though Bugaboo does recommend using their cocoon accessory if not buying the bassinet. Size-wise, the Dragonfly is a smidge narrower than the Swiv, at 27 centimeters, but is longer both in terms of its sitting surface, 101, as well as when folding down the leg rest and using the front frame as a footrest, 116. And though both models have the disadvantage when it comes to headspace of canopies that are flush with the seat back, the Dragonfly has both a longer backboard, 56 centimeters versus 52 on the Swiv, as well as a longer leg rest, 18 versus 13, which give it advantages both with how long the reclined position will be comfortable for younger toddlers, as well as overall space for seating older toddlers. As far as other aspects of the seat go, the Dragonfly's textiles are also well padded and premium feeling, and though the harness lacks a magnetic buckle, it's still easy to use, also having no rethread shoulder straps, as well as belts that are set up such that they hold themselves out from the seat back, so that you don't have to fumble for them under your kid. The canopy provides a bit better sun coverage in my opinion, both in that it stretches a little further, as well as in not having open mesh panels in the extension section, and while the Dragonfly lacks the Swiv's added ventilation in the seat back, there is at least a mesh panel that can be opened in the canopy. For the newborn period, the Dragonfly also has car seat adapters available that are compatible with the same range of brands as when using the Swiv's post adapters, and also has a bassinet, with the unique feature of folding down and flattening while remaining attached to the chassis, where the folded dimensions with the bassinet attached are even a bit more compact than with the seat. Moving on to parent comfort, the Dragonfly's handlebar has a shorter range of handle height than the Swiv's, between 95 and 105 centimeters, while the shopping basket is longer and even easier to access in my opinion. When it comes to folding, the Dragonfly can also be folded with one hand and has a more stable standing fold that's equally compact with the seat in either facing, though that being said, the mechanisms involved are much more internally complex and susceptible to alignment issues as the model loosens up over time than with the Swiv's folding system. When folded, the Dragonfly has a shoulder strap and is also comfortable to carry by the handle, though the fact that it's taller than the Swiv when folded makes it a bit less convenient with regards to trunk space. As far as the overall feel of using the Dragonfly is concerned, it feels lighter and less rigid than the Swiv, and slim bars, especially the handle arms, make the Dragonfly feel a bit more fragile in my opinion, at least right out of the box. In terms of driving, the Dragonfly's wheels are similarly sized, 6.7 inches in the front and 8.3 in the back, but shock absorption is more noticeable, making it less jittery when you need to tackle rougher ground. That noted, however, its thinner bars and slightly more narrow width relative to length do make it a little heavier to steer and tip. So which one of these should you get then? The somewhat more fragile and mechanically complex design of both of these models makes them best suited towards lighter use situations, such as for parents who live in a smooth urban environment or tend to get around a lot by car. Overall, the Dragonfly is a little better in my opinion due to its longer seat, more noticeable shock absorption, compact fold with the bassinet attached, and Bugaboo's relatively good track record when it comes to spare parts and after-sales service. That being said, however, both models are a little too complex for their size and weight, and in my opinion, there are better comparable options than either of them out there on the wider market. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as this sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. If you'd like to know more about either of these models, we have standalone reviews that go into a lot more detail, and links have been added in the description. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page, which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description as well. Thank you.